Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I'm trying to get going early this morning because last night XRP crossed 50 cents and everybody's excited about it, including myself. I will add to that it crossed 50 cents under an SEC lawsuit, and we're now up. A minute ago it was over 14%, but anyway, it's hanging in there over 50 cents, and the market overall is at $1.4 trillion. I remember back a couple of years ago when I said that this market will go into the multi-trillions, and I got laughed at. No, 1.4 trillion is a joke compared to where this is going. That doesn't mean it won't be a bumpy ride. I'm drinking my coffee, by the way. Doesn't mean it won't be a bumpy ride, but it will happen. And I wanted to make a point while we're scrolling down this list. All of the Dogecoin fans, when Dogecoin is in the red, what do you have what is it about that coin? You need to ask yourself, what is it about Dogecoin that makes you believe in holding that when you're not seeing green? You need to reflect on that, because I'll repeat what Brad Garlinghouse has said 1,000 times. If there's no real utility, all of these will eventually go to nothing if there's no real utility. Okay, Coin Paprika, I wanted to show you this. Let me do a little refresh on this, because the returns that we are seeing with everything is really unbelievable. Look at this: Bitcoin 372%, Ethereum 701%, Cardano 1,382%. XRP under a freaking SEC lawsuit. For the quarter is up over 100%, over 105%. For the year, 92% under an SEC lawsuit. If there's anything that you need to drill into your head, it is that fact. If it has done that under an SEC lawsuit, and remember, a lot of these coins have soaked up what money that would have been in XRP and would have flowed into XRP, and additional money that would have flowed into XRP. So a lot of these coins that are sitting here that everybody knows, and believe you me, everybody does know. Everybody knows that XRP is superior. A lot of those coins that are sitting there sucking up the money just because they're not under an SEC lawsuit, watch what happens when XRP it comes out from under that lawsuit. You might want to be holding some of it before then. I know I will be. Now I wanted to show you this. The Joker is back. He's got a new handle. They took his old handle away from him for some reason. He's at Crypto Joker 12. He's one of the few chart guys that I follow. He says, still, I see XRP targets $14. So yeah, be patient. I like that. And he also said this, which I agree with. XLM is next to go rocket. Wait for it. I think XLM is just sitting there because, remember, XLM is very similar to XRP. I think it's like a brother-sister, and XLM is not under an SEC lawsuit. Keep your eyes on XLM. Watch it. Okay, Max Kaiser tweeted this out, and I think this is, I love all these announcements of all these companies, even though I think it's a big mistake. I think they'd do a lot better to invest their treasuries in XRP or XLM. As long as it's bringing money into the digital asset ecosystem, I'm all on board. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to tell the truth about what Bitcoin and proof of work is. Okay? I'm not going to ignore the facts the way that a lot of these Bitcoin maxis do. Source: next big corporate Bitcoin buyer is Larry Ellison of Oracle. Keep the announcements rolling in is what I say, because every announcement, that's more money coming in, and it's more buzz to keep this market really booming. Now, I do want to warn you, like I said, I'm not gonna beat around the bush when it comes to Bitcoin. These people in recent weeks the powers that be, you can't take them out of it. You're not going to have Bitcoin and not have regulation and all this stuff. The powers that be, we've seen many of them come out. We've even seen Steve Mnuchin call Bitcoin a national security threat. We've seen the new lady, what's her name in the new administration. I'm drawing a blank on her name. But anyway, lady with the white hair, she said that Bitcoin's just for money laundering. And I think she said it pretty recently. We saw Christine Lagarde recently say that Bitcoin needs to be regulated and it needs to be a coordinated effort. So what this guy says in this video is correct. Do not think that just because you've got this decentralized thing that the governments can't crack down on it. This is something to think about.
Yeah, if you think that the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. government is going to let this thing get out of hand, where literally corporates are starting to replace dollars to
what
a
can
large,
they do at this point?
They can regulate the hell out of it. Is what they can do, and we've already seen that. I mean, we've seen it to some extent. I'm just telling you. I mean, they're going to let the dollar fall away from being the reserve currency for the world. So right now we are in a bit of a euphoric state. I mean, when you think about what are we talking about here? We're talking about Tesla and we're talking about Bitcoin. These are two risk assets that have gained more than $1 trillion combined in like the last 6 months, and it's all based on hopium. And I don't mean to hate on all of this. All these people who are making a ton of money on both of these things, just understand that there's got to be some sort of gravity that takes hold at some point, and the two of them combined make for, I think, a really difficult situation if they both start going down together. And the ripple effects that we will see across currency markets, financial markets, and the such could be really great. No one is talking about it right now. There are no more naysayers in Bitcoin. So I would just say to you, have at it at 45,000, because you've taken out everybody who thinks it's a scam.
Yeah, it is approaching 45.
Okay, so let me make it clear. I think that these guys like him ought to be ashamed of themselves. I am no person who thinks governments should intervene. I think that the government created the problem, and if they would just get out of the way and let us have an honest economy, then things would be a lot better. But they're not going, read my lips, they're not going to do that. The government is never getting out of central banking and finance. They are going to control things, and they can do it with Bitcoin. One way or another, they'll do it. Even if they're controlling the exit ramps and the on ramps, what good is your Bitcoin if they won't let you cash it out, or they tell you how it's going to happen when you cash it out? It's absolutely no good to you. I mean, so they can do it, and they will do it. And this guy, what he's saying, and what I've heard a lot of these people in power say in the last couple of months, makes me think you're going to see something. Okay, now this is part of my telling you the truth of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and proof of work, because a lot of these guys, just for the sake of getting you to invest in Bitcoin, are not giving you all the facts. And here's the facts. The transfer times and the fees for Bitcoin, this graphic right here tells you and shows you why it's never was Bitcoin and Ethereum proof of work. Never was. It's not those things. All Bitcoin will ever be is a store of value. And Ethereum, they're going to roll over to 2.0, but Ethereum proof of work is garbage, period. And I don't know why anybody's putting their, now, unless they're just betting on Ethereum 2.0, okay, I get it. But Ethereum proof of work, garbage. Watch this. That's in a bear market what you're looking at. Notice how XRP is faster and cheaper and stable. Watch what happens in a bull market to the proof of work coins. It's ridiculous, folks. It's crazy. And look, I tried to, someone had sent me, I don't have a lot, but someone had sent me a little bit of BAT token in my Uphold account. And I've never really dealt much with sending Ethereum tokens, and BAT is one of them. Someone sent me, it was like a small amount, it was like 20 or 30 BAT tokens, and I was going to send them somewhere. And I was sending them, and I'm looking at the screen, and the freaking fees on this Ethereum token were higher than the amount of what it was going to cost me to send. It was more expensive than the amount of the BAT tokens that I was trying to send. And I kept looking at the screen saying, am I seeing this right? And I was seeing it right. And so I didn't send it. I mean, that's crazy. All right, Michelle Vandenberg sent me this. This is from this guy, Flare Fusion. And he says, well, let me read this first. He says, while not fully up to date, here's a list of the banking partnerships and payment providers Bitcoin has. And it lists all of these banks. Look at all these banks. HSBC, you'll notice a lot of names here. There's 118 banks, then remittance companies, then foreign exchange companies, cryptocurrency exchanges, payment providers, software technology, miscellaneous. You'll even see American Express down there. And then he says, apologies for the typo. These are all Ripple relationships, which can easily integrate with XRP. He is ding, 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 exactly right. Bitcoin doesn't have banking relationships. Then Anders L comes in and he makes a good point. Ask yourself this: how well does your coin fit in with the world of CBDCs? That's central bank digital currencies. There are only a handful that are anywhere in this realm, and they list some of them here. First, it's XRP and XLM. Quant, XDC, I don't know about these two. I know Quant is pretty involved. XDC, I don't know much about. But then I think Algo may be one of them. And then I think Circle is going to be in the game with the USDC, but they're doing it through XLM. You see how this is all going, folks? Now, watch this. This was an interesting tweet. This is for a lot of you that have not been here the last couple of years. I want you to see this. It says, I know we've seen this, seen it 1,000 times, but have y'all read the 3 pages in The Economist 1988 Phoenix cover? Super interesting. I'm going to read these highlighted things. Further attempts to peg currencies will flounder. And not long after the next currency agreement is signed, it will go the same way as the last one. It will collapse. And then it says, as time passes, the damage caused by currency instability is gradually going to mount. This is small print, sorry. The New World Economy, that a good should cost the same everywhere once prices are converted into a single currency. In all these ways, national economic boundaries are slowly dissolving. The absence of all currency risk would spur trade, investment, and employment. The Phoenix Zone, that's an interesting phrase, the Phoenix Zone would impose tight constraints on national governments. As national monetary policy, the world Phoenix supply would be fixed by a new central bank, descended perhaps, I think that's it, from the IMF. Within narrow margins, each national inflation rate would be in its charge. It would have to borrow rather than print money to finance its budget deficit. They can go with the flow, or they can build barricades. It will mean allowing and then actively promoting the private sector use of an international money alongside existing national monies, like bridging CBDCs maybe. That would let people vote with their wallets for the eventual move to a full currency union. The Phoenix would probably start as a cocktail of national currencies, just as the special drawing right is today. In time, though, its value against national currencies would cease to matter because people would choose it for its convenience and stability of its purchasing power. Pencil in the Phoenix for around 2018 and welcome it when it comes. So they would be a little bit off schedule if that's what this was. Now, I tweeted this out yesterday, and those of you that have never seen some of these things need to see them. Because remember, with XRP, it's the one. It's not Bitcoin, and it's not Ethereum, and it never was, okay? Those were test cases. This clip I'm about to show you, now this is one person's theory. This is from someone called Rachel Lee that disappeared from Twitter and was in XRP land on Twitter for a long time. Listen to what she says. She's one of those that disappeared. Coming back to the IMF and the global liquidity crisis that's unfolding, the IMF, as we all know, is just another globalist organization, just like the U.S. Federal Reserve. They are all interconnected and they are all over Ripple. The IMF is not going to use gold and silver in any new monetary system or deliverance of liquidity. What they may do is ask nations to hand over gold in return for XRP. XRP value is going to be significantly higher from where it is now, and that can occur overnight. It won't take much once XRapid, which is now ODL, is live. Ripple are already well positioned and at the end stages. Brad Garlinghouse talks about the marathon. We're at the final leg. Ripple, being a globalist company, has no use for the XRP in escrow. They can't distribute it amongst themselves. Everyone already has their allocations of XRP. The rest is for the IMF or whichever globalist bank takes over to re-liquidify the world. BlackRock. 50 billion XRP in escrow, for example, at $1,000 per XRP will position the IMF in the perfect position to re-liquidify the world, as well as ask nations to hand over their gold for XRP. Do you think Ripple is successful on their own? Of course not. They need the tech and the blessings. Some people ask a silly question or make a silly statement like, why would the IMF buy the XRP from Ripple or force Ripple to hand it over? It doesn't work like that. Ripple is creating digital gold and with the help of the globalists. That's just part of the deal. Hand it over. Chris Larson and Arthur Brito get to be trillionaires. Others get to be multi-billionaires, and you and I get to keep a slice of the pie as well. Ripple has no other use for the 50 billion XRP in escrow. All you have to do is sit back and watch it play out like a movie. And then I want to, this is my thread, so I wanted to show you just some coincidences along with this theory that I've noticed along the way. The first is Jess Ching. She was counsel and officer at Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Then she went to Ripple. Then she went to the International Monetary Fund and then back to the Federal Reserve. I've always thought that was kind of strange. This is strange too. Christine Lagarde. There's Jess Chang, the resume I just read to you. And there's Brad Garlinghouse. And this is Ross Leckow, who's the general counsel for the IMF. The reason you need to know him is because he pops up back down here on stage with Brad Garlinghouse, Chief Executive Officer of Ripple and Deputy Counsel, International Monetary Fund. And then you have this, Director of Monetary Markets, IMF, right here. Remember when Brad Garlinghouse was the only startup in the room in Switzerland? Christine Lagarde here, the head of the BIS here, Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, right here. Chairman Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, and then this guy's Chief Executive Hong Kong Monetary Authority. Always thought that was one strange meeting. And then there was this. I was at Swell when this guy was on the stage, Dr. Raghuram Rajan. He served as the Chief Economist and Director of Research at the IMF from 2003 to 2006. And then finally there was this. Please keep in mind that Chris Larson is a member of the high-level advisory group at the IMF. Chris Larson, Chief Executive Chairman of Ripple. I'm sure those are all coincidences, but I just thought I'd like to show them to you. Michael at VAL5 Link. Bradley Sostak, the lead plaintiff in a class action lawsuit by investors against Ripple, has now moved to demand all of Ripple's email communications with the SEC concerning XRP. And then Riz XRP, I don't know what that's about, but it'll be interesting. Riz XRP sent this. Now this is interesting. Jeremy Allaire, who is in the game, he was on that IMF advisory board as well. But he makes a mistake here. He says, "Thank you, Elon Musk, for helping us grow the first intergalactic currency. Also, when will you allocate the USD into USDC yield markets?" Well, Jeremy Allaire is not correct about his currency being the first intergalactic currency, and we know that because I interviewed Greg Kidd.
But that's why I joined Ripple. I mean, when I joined Ripple, it looked like Bitcoin with two extra columns: currency and who issued that currency. And so I want to live in the Star Trek world. And in the Star Trek world, it doesn't matter whether you're a Klingon, a Romulan, Federation, they can all buy dilithium crystals. But you can't do that if your form of value is all in a silo. And so Ripple was the first that basically had if if you will, an intergalactic currency, something that.
So we had to correct Jeremy Allaire there. Hey, Seiko Carmona sent me this picture I'm about to show you, but first I wanted to show you something else. Let me say that really clearly. I know what I own. I see in the Twitter comments when I'll make comments, a lot of times I'll get the all you talk about is XRP and all of these other digital assets are going up. They're in the green and Dogcoin and all this. Well, guess what? I know what I own. I do not chase green candles. I own the one. And XRP is the one. And I hate to tell you, it's not Dogcoin, it's not Bitcoin, it's not proof of work Ethereum. It's XRP and XLM. It always has been. And just because you don't see it yet does not mean it ain't so. So watch this and you may understand further. This is Naveen Gupta of Ripple back a year or two ago.
How do you think, what is the next move, on Ripple's roadmap, in your opinion? To put you on the spot here.
No, it's very simple. So I think one thing, if there is one message that you can get in this room is Ripple is not an ordinary company. We are not here to have a small market share or do X, do Y, and make small amount of money or something to happen. We are here to make a dent in the universe. Either we will change the remittance universe, the way you understand, the way value gets transferred across the world, between people, between institutions, or we will just fade away. So it's almost 0 or 1, and some of it comes from our Silicon Valley arrogance. Some of it comes from, that's the reason 6 years ago we were born with the mission of moving money like information moves today, right? And we are making it possible working with the existing ecosystem. So I think this is a key differentiator about Ripple, and that's the reason we are a monoline company. Every day we get tens of ideas to say, why don't you do security settlement? Why don't you work in trade finance? Why don't you do X, Y, Z? And what we tell them is, just cross-border remittances is $155 trillion problem. We'll solve this first. We'll make a difference to everybody who's present in this room. And once we have made the difference, then only we will look at something else. So we are like Google is for search, Ripple is for remittances. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it right, and we will not rest till we earn your respect and your business.
As I keep telling you, XRP is the one. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that the digital asset investor is not here to chase the latest green candle. I'm here to watch Ripple put a dent in the universe, and maybe I can put my own little ding in the universe in the meantime. Thanks for watching.